What is up, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for joining us after the Dodgers win in extra innings. They beat the Boston Red Sox by a final score of 7-6. They improved to 58-41 on the season, 7 games up on the Padres in the National League West. Are now 7-5 in extra innings games on the season. And first thing I want to say is this. This is the happiest I've ever been after Kenley Jansen blew a save in Los Angeles. I'm thrilled. I'm ecstatic. That was one of the games of the year. Kike Hernandez, he knew it was gone. He comes through late in the game, but Kike Hernandez doing his old teammate dirty. A bomb to tie it late on Kenley Jansen. The Dodgers, they look like they were done, and Kike Hernandez, he ties it up. And the bottom of the 9th inning, 2 strikes, Kike Hernandez ties it up. And what a moment for the Dodgers, this gritty team. But let's check it out.
Hernandez rips one, left center field. This game is tied.
So what a moment. Kike, who really hasn't had himself a great year, has really had himself a down season offensively, and Kenley Jansen coming back to L.A. You know that much he wants to play here. You know how much he wants to end his career. He said a couple weeks ago it was the first time that Kenley Jansen had blown a save since April 16th. Since April 16th, and that tied up at 4. And what a moment, what a game for Los Angeles Dodgers. Other big takeaway, too, hey, you don't pitch to Freddie, and you don't pitch to Will Smith. And what a big moment for Will Smith there. The clutch prince, he comes through late. So we're going to break it all down. The Dodgers get the dub. What a win for L.A. I'm looking for that comment of the show. I'm looking for all your fire takes. Who's the Dodgers dog of the game? Was that the game of the year? Absolutely, you could make the case. And hey, like the words of the great Ice Cube, it was a good day. Today was a good day. Anytime LA beats Boston, it is a great day in LA. But guys, welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show, the #1 post-game show here on YouTube, the #1 channel on YouTube for your Los Angeles Dodgers. And we're doing giveaways all season long. And if you want to be eligible for our next giveaway at 95,000, we're going to do it at 94,000 too. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to announce that early next week. But don't forget to comment Go Tani down below so you're eligible for the Shohei Ohtani Gray Dodgers Authentic. By the way, another big takeaway, a short one here, the theatrics, the spectacle that Alex Cora late in that game when he intentionally walked Ohtani there in the 11th inning. He comes out there with the glove. But my big takeaway is the IBB could be a little frustrating in the postseason. Teams intentionally walking Shohei Ohtani. But we're going to break it all down in depth. Diane Schroeder, welcome to the show, the fairy godmother of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Hi, D-Mac. Hi, Diane. Nobody says Willie. Willie. Eric Kwan says, let's go Dodgers. Ricardo Herrera, hell of a game. BC, go Ohtani. Mr. Ruiz, and people want Jansen back. Yeah, not a great audition for Kenley Jansen. And the reason why I've said that I don't want to go the Kenley Jansen route is mainly because, you heard me say it, sometimes you don't want to get back with your ex. Because when you get back with your ex, it's because it's convenient. It's because you're like, oh, okay, I couldn't find someone better. In LA, a lot of times you get back with your ex because you guys are splitting the rent. You're like, okay, might as well just stay together, right? But you don't want to reheat those McDonald's French fries. And that's always said, do not reheat the McDonald's French fries because they're not going to taste perfect like they do when you get them and they're hot and fresh and you can't even take, you're blowing. I'm like, I'm one of those guys when I eat my McDonald's French fries, right? It's not going to be like that. And even though Kenley Jansen is still a good closer. Really, he should have been an all-star. I mean, I think he should have made the all-star team over Holmes in the American League. But the #1 reason why I haven't been on board with bringing Kenley Jansen back is because even when he was at his peak, even when he was great, we saw moments where he didn't come through on the big stage at Dodgers Stadium. Because Kike went full Marwin Gonzalez in Game 2 of the World Series. You went full Steve Pearce in Game 4 of the 2018 World Series. It just takes one bad pitch, and one poorly commanded pitch, not execution from him. And if he's poor in his execution, things can go awry pretty quickly. If you look at his numbers on the season, 236 ERA, 259 FIP. The home runs have been minuscule on the season for Kenley Jansen. That's why he's had himself a really good year, because he has not given up bombs, because he has not gone out there and blown up in big spots. He really has had a really, really solid season, but today it was Kike Hernandez's day. Kike Hernandez against his old team, against his old teammate, and he comes up in a big spot. And that's another thing too. Another big takeaway before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty on this one is that's why Kike Hernandez, you kind of have to throw out the regular season numbers. You have to throw out his stats, because he's a dog at the plate when it matters most. And that's why Kike Hernandez, he's my Dodgers dog of the game.
Dodger dog of the game.
And that was the first home run that Kenley had allowed this season. Heading into today, he had gone 33 in the third innings without giving up a solo shot. So, hey, maybe that's Kenley saying once a Dodger, always a Dodger. He wants to retire as a Dodger. He lives in L.A. Maybe he loves the Dodgers so much he gave that bomb. Who knows? We got Folly said, let's go. Kenley Jansen. Orlando, hello, everyone. D-Mac, I said I would do 100 push-ups if they walked it off. Okay, man, well, drop and give me 100. So, Michael Page, Kenley blowing saves is much more fun on this side. Kershaw pitching on Wednesday. Paul Gutierrez. Yeah, so happy to see Kersh back. Mr. Marty Mart, great win. D-Mac wins it. Yeah, me, the clutch prince. Hit a walk-off, and I'm here doing a post-game show for you guys, okay? You got to love that, right? Jacob, D-Mac turned off SA as soon as you went live. Favorite Dodgers post-game show. Hey, shout out to DV and the gang over at AM 570, but I know you guys love your takes down here. D-Mac's brother from another mother strikes again. Luke A. That's a fire take. Anytime I read that. Roy, for real. D-Mac risking copyright to show the game footage, clapping side. Hey, I'm cool with Major League Baseball, and this show, it's not a Monday through Friday show. It's a Monday through Sunday situation. I don't take the weekends off. I'm here for you guys Monday through Sunday, 24/7. If anything goes down, got to get you the best highlights, man. You got to see it. D-Mac Smith wins with the game winner. D-Mac, let's go. Hallie butt kicker. NS, did we see a glimpse of postseason Kike? I'm all on that. And great point right there. And that's what I was just alluding to with Kike, is that look at his numbers last season. He was awful offensively with Boston, comes to L.A., improves a little bit, but then the postseason, he was one of the only guys that showed up. He's one of the only guys that said anything. And even in the pregame before Game 3, he talked about being a big fan of the UFC. And the best UFC fights, they exchange punches. And when you get punched hard, you got to be able to take a punch and punch back. And that's the kind of mentality you want from Kike Hernandez. And look at his numbers. I mean, even after today, he hits his 6th home run, and he's still hitting under 200 at 198 with a 68 weighted runs created plus. But let's be honest, Kike is someone that in a big spot, he just magically finds a way to come through at times. We saw it in the NLCS, where he comes through in Game 7 with the bomb off Minter. Kike, the dog of the game. Prime Kenley is back from Bednazkozy over on YouTube. Yeah, I know I was going to get a lot of Kenley on this one. And D-Mac, how'd you get home so fast after walking off? That's from Abysmo0. I'm going to give you a bruh just because I love you for that one. What's up, Roy Estrada? What up, Steve Caldera? This game or the LAD versus New York Yankees game, 2-1 LAD Yamamoto win. That was a great game. Also, I mean, you have to mention the Rockies game as well on the road, a 9th inning 5-run comeback. But I think this one, Boston, LA. By the way, the City Connects, someone says Luke A. City Connects really look like some pajamas out there. The Funfetti jerseys come through again. Myra, hats off to Kike Hernandez and Will Smith. Myra Pineda over on YouTube. That's a fire take. Show you some love for that one. Sweep the leg tomorrow. That's from Los Jovel. I'm watching season 6 of Cobra Kai. Definitely want to sweep that leg. NS, that was a killer short. I saw that, D-Mac. Oh, thanks, man. Hey, I love when Gavin Lux gives you that death stare and he says, Freddie's a bad man. But, yeah, we're going to have to do another breakdown for today's game as well. We got a super chat, a 199 super chat from Jose Aguirre. Dodgers gave me a great B-Day present. Let's go. Everyone wish Jose Aguirre a happy birthday. HBD, my man. The Dodgers, they hooked you up with an extra innings dub. By the way, 7-5 in extras this season. Juice Narrows, you guys still want Jansen? LOL. Yeah, I know that the anti-Janseners, as I'll call them, they were definitely going to use this for their narrative. Smash that like button for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Smash that like button for your boys in blue. Not at full strength. Still don't have Mookie Betts back in the lineup. Max Muncy, key injuries, but still they're going out there and they're winning games. And got to give some credit to Dave Roberts as well, squeezing out wins with this roster. Anthony Keene, I saw that one while Kenley blowing the save. Jacob Pasalacqua. Going to help me on the pronunciation there. $5. Appreciate you, my man. Comment of the show status right there. Smitty walked off the Red Sox and is locked and loaded for the post-game show, dog. Hey, man, you guys won't stop. I got Smitty down here to my right. Going to try to meet up with Smith tomorrow at the stadium because really love to see what he's doing this season, man. That guy's got ice in his veins. And, yeah, like I said, what we learned from the last two games, you don't want to pitch to Freddie Freeman or Will Smith. Halliburton, D-Mac, Dodgers win against the Dodgers win. Giants lost to Colorado. Great night. Yeah, Dodgers win. L.A. beats Boston. Giants lose. It's a trifecta there. You'll love that. But let's dive into this game, guys, because lots to talk about in this one. The Rojas, swing with the bases loaded was kind of Nelson Hernandez. I have some thoughts on that. And, yes, you're absolutely correct there. Not a good swing in a spot where you're not supposed to be checking your swing, right? Either go full swing or take a pitch. There's really no in-between right there. BC says reheat fries in an oven, not a microwave. Same for any fried foods. BC throwing out cooking advice right there, so I always appreciate that. Kenny Chung, what's up, my man? Everyone knew Jansen was going to blow that save. Like I said, guys, game for the World Series in 2020. Phillips with the walk-off. Brett Phillips to go in airplane mode. And Marwin Gonzalez, Steve Pearce. Look, for once, we're enjoying a Kenley Jansen blown save at Dodger Stadium. This time he's not getting booed off, but I only kid because, I love Kenley Jansen. 350 career saves, the best, most productive closer as far as the longevity and the totality of his career in Dodgers history. But Mark Phillip Bodner, better stay away from relationship French fry. We got Ben Kozer. Are we still undefeated in the New City Connects? Yeah, say what you want about the Funfettis. They're collecting dubs in them. David E., did we redeem? By the way, also, Panda Express for everyone. DMAC, give La Diaz a mob job. We got... thanks, Kenley Jansen and Roxy. Everyone say that thank you to Kenley Jansen tonight. Blowing that in the end. Doug, do we really have a closer? Who? Pat Flynn music? Yeah, as fun as tonight was, there was some scary situations and some concerning moments, and it definitely involves Evan Phillips. And Evan Phillips, top of the 10th inning, gives up a home run to Tyler O'Neill. Of course, you got the Manfred man in the game because it's an extra, so goes as a 2-run shot. And on that pitch, it was a sweeper right down Broadway that hang right out over the plate. And with Evan Phillips so far this season, it's starting to be a situation where you wonder if he's not perfect for a closer's role, or is it, can you trust him fully if he goes back to being a high-leverage fireman guy? Because that is always the concern with relievers. The volatility year in and year out. Are they going to have it? And so far this season, Phillips has still been really good. A 2.93 ERA, 3.92 FIP, though, getting close to 4. Expected FIP lower than that at 3.30, but he gives up the home run. He's given up 5 home runs this season. So that really has been the difference between Evan Phillips this year and Evan Phillips in years past that had really established himself as one of the best high leverage relievers, one of the best firemen in the game, Honey Bun Phillips, right? And the scary thing to me when it comes to Evan Phillips is, look, the same issues that the Dodgers had with Kenley Jansen in the postseason for so many years, well, that is giving up home runs at the worst possible times. Because when you are the better reliever, when you're the top dog in the bullpen, you're going to be there in big spots, in big situations. And this year, his home runs per 9 is the highest in his entire career. Last year he had a .88 home runs per 9. The year before that, it was at .29 when he had his best year, and that was in 2022 when he had a 1.14 ERA. Well, now that HR per 9 now is at 1.47. It's starting to be a concern. the home runs that he's given up consistently in big spots. We saw it in the series against the Tigers. I mean, the Tigers, we saw that series, same situation. Gives it the bomb to Colt Keith, and this tonight was to Tyler O'Neill. So the home runs are definitely an issue. D-Mac with a walk-off tonight, David Sabatini. Let's read 10 right here. Rick Barrett, despite Roberts' bad pitching decision, D-Mac Ramirez needs to go. I'll talk about Johan because clearly you can mess with the Johan, and we're seeing that again and again. We're going to get to him in a second here. D-Mac, can you give Evan Phillips a hug? That's from Big Dot Joe, 82. Kike only getting that hit off Kenley, LOL. That's from Anthony Keene. So you're not getting the love there. Eddie Chavez, a $30 super chat. Appreciate you, my guys. Going right to the Teoscar Hernandez extension fund. Give you a fire take for that one.
Fire take.
It's all coming together. Even freaking Biggio came through like, wow, let's go. Yeah, I bet you guys were not excited to see Biggio out there in this one. And he ends up pinch hitting for Vargas there in the 11th. And Biggio got that sack to first right there to get Kike to third. And that really set things up for the Will Smith walk-off later in that inning. But, yeah, how about Kevin Biggio contributing to the win? BC, what's up? Eddie Buzz, Dougie Fresh, I'm looking forward to Andrew Friedman working the phones and bringing the Dodgers fans some reinforcements so the team can make its march towards the World Series. Can I get an amen? Absolutely, you can get an amen, brother, because, look, this team is winning. And they're overcoming injuries right now. But don't kid yourself. I mean, anytime you win, anytime you're as all in as this franchise is, it definitely keeps the juices flowing in the front office, knowing that, hey, we got a good team, we got a great team, but we need some missing puzzle pieces. And we can get this team over the top because that's how committed we are to winning a world championship. And if they're going to be as aggressive as they possibly can be to get this team over the top, then even if you do win a series against the Red Sox and you do come back late, let's not kid yourself. The Dodgers were extremely close. The Dodgers are very close to losing both of these games. They could be trying to salvage the series tomorrow, and a lot of that's because of pitching issues, the bottom of the lineup not coming through. Gavin Lux did come through today with a couple of extra base hits. Sub D-Mac getting some tacos. Al Pastor, Tommy Alvarado, that's my favorite. That's my go-to. Love me some Al Pastor. Man, I do miss La Estrella in Highland Park. I will tell you that much, though. F. Boston from James, Tommy Alvarado in the mix. Kenny Chung, I thought they were going to have to burn those Ugly City Connects. Yeah, hey, man, you're getting dubs in them, man. And those little dots on them, they're supposed to represent the different seat levels, the top decks, and all the decks and colors of Dodger Stadium and the diversity of Los Angeles. Those dots represent the amount of players on the IL right now, and I think that that's something that this organization needs to take account of. Side Yard Cat, where are all the early season Will Smith haters? They're definitely doing Homer Simpson in the hedge, backing up right there. Happy birthday to Jose across the board. Appreciate you guys. We always got to give the loyal listeners some love. Happy birthday from Diane Schroeder out there. Starting pitcher was also fire. Yeah, Justin Robleski. So let's dive into this one, guys. Keep firing away in the comment section, and we will get back to those. But really early on this one, Justin Robleski, he comes out there in the top of the first inning, gave up the one-out single to Duran, but then had two punch-outs. He struck out O'Neill, nice four-seam fastball. The inside corner struck out Devers with a four-seam fastball away, 96 miles per hour on the gun. So really nice start for him. And then you jump to the top of the second inning, and Robleski started to get that pitch count up. You saw some deep counts, but nothing really too big of an issue. I mean, he had the 7-pitch at bat, then he strikes out Wong with a four-seam fastball up in the zone, gives up the double to Gonzalez, but then gets Westbrook to pop out, gets Smith to line to right. I love the confidence and the poise of Robleski, not getting rattled, and he's able to execute pitches and get key outs even with runners on base, even when he gives up a base hit or issues a walk. So I really love to see that. And in the bottom of the second inning, Bello, who really did a fantastic job against the top of this Dodgers lineup. I mean, he was just dominating really the first part of this game. He struck out 4 of the first 6 hitters that he faced tonight, but the bottom of the lineup comes through. After punching out Pages and Rojas, Luck stepped to the plate on a 2-2 count. He crushed a bomb to right center to give the Dodgers the early 1-0 lead. And then top of the third inning, Robleski, he walks Rafaela. He ends up going to second after he steals second. And then a couple batters later, after he walked Duran and O'Neill was at the plate, first pitch to Tyler O'Neill, he hits a fly ball to left, and they try to run on Teoscar Hernandez, and Teoscar Hernandez says nope, and we get the outfield assist to double him up and end the inning.
Ball's better when the Red Sox are good. Fly ball off of the bat of Tyler O'Neill. Back to the track goes Teoscar Hernandez and just got it off the end of the bat. Both runners tag, throw to third, in time. Outfield assist, max distance from Teoscar.
So how about that? Do not run on Teoscar Hernandez. He will get you, and he did right there. Really nice job by Teo to help out his young pitcher and get out of that inning, because that inning really was starting to scare you a little bit if you're a Dodgers fan, because gives up a couple hits there. Then you're looking at taxing this bullpen if he has to leave early. So that was an extremely pivotal play that's probably forgotten at this point because of how much occurred in this game. So really nice job there by Teoscar Hernandez, that outfield assist. Say it before, I'll say it again. I'll say it louder for the people in the back. Sign Teoscar Hernandez to an extension. If you don't re-sign him in the offseason, he's a perfect fit for this team. He's going to be a part of multiple World Series titles. I'm telling you, bring back Teoscar Hernandez. D-Mac, can I get a bruh for Elias Diaz last time? I'll give you a bruh. Bruh. No pitchers are perfect. Andy Pothead is the real thing. Andy, did you misspell that? Because it's Andy Pages, okay? Kenny Chung Phillips' cutter sucks against lefties, and now his sweeper went yard against a righty. Yeah, that really has been the issue with Evan Phillips is, look, that cutter, when it's at its best, it's a pitch that yes, it can miss bats. Yes, you can get strikeouts with it, but it's about inducing soft contact, breaking bats, and just really getting soft outs, lazy fly balls. And if you look at the cutter this season, opponents heading into today hitting 304 off of Evan Phillips' cutter. 304. Back in 2023, they were hitting 207. Back in 2022, they were hitting 167. So he's gone from opponents hitting 167 off of his bread and cutter to hitting 304. Then you look at the sweeper, which has been his best pitch this season. Opponents hitting 172, gives up the bomb on that sweeper that he left out of the plate to Tyler O'Neill. So I am starting to have some growing concerns about Evan Phillips and just the fact that that's the guy that they've pinned as their high leverage best bullpen piece. I still think you got to go out there and try to get a Tanner Scott. I think if you get a Kopech from the White Sox, when he's bad, he's really bad. When he's good, he's really good. I think he's a guy that still has the stuff to, if you include him in a deal with Luis Robert and Garrett Crochet, that you can say, okay, maybe the Dodgers can get the most out of him. But I definitely think the Dodgers absolutely need to focus on a reliever as well, because games come down to that. We know the big spots, the big moments. Think of the collapses in the last couple of seasons. A lot of them come in the later innings. You need to have guys you can trust in those spots. And I think Evan Phillips is still going to be a massive part of this bullpen. But if you're at a 10, as far as how all in you are, you have to go out there and bolster the bullpen just to give him some help and take some pressure off him as well. We got J. Cam. Mason Miller is the only answer. We need him ASAP. Early Christmas gift for D-Mac and all Dodgers fans. Yeah, look, I think the thing about Mason Miller is, if you can find a way to get him without giving up the top prospects and find a way to get Crochet, then that's awesome. But if you get just Mason Miller and no frontline starter, well, then it really becomes a point where, yeah, you have Mason Miller, but I mean, what's the point if you don't go out there and reinforce the front of the rotation and get another guy that you can trust in a game one or a game two? But Mason Miller is definitely someone that the Dodgers would love to have. And the ESPN article today with Alden Gonzalez said to not rule out the Dodgers when it comes to making a run at Mason Miller. The thing about Mason Miller, high velocity, just cartoon-like numbers as far as the strikeout rate and how hard he throws, but he's under team control for so many years, it makes you wonder how high the prospect capital would be. High DMAC from Haley Thompson. What a Haley Thompson. The blue heart emojis for your boys in blue going out there getting that walk-off. This team's fun. Look, I just want to say it. This team has a lot of grit. Freddie Freeman's big competitive at-bats. Kike Hernandez coming through twice in big spots. Really like this team. I really do compared to last year's team. I think this team has a different edge to them. Teoscar is a dog. Ohtani's a dog. I really love the 2024 Dodgers. I'm going to put out and say that as far as I love the way they don't give up at-bats. And even though they're not at their best as far as where their roster's at, you don't have Mookie Betts, this team's out there fighting, man. You got to give them a lot of credit. The bullpen decimated by injuries. But let's keep getting into this one. But Robleski getting back to his start tonight. He was aided by that outfield assist by Teoscar Hernandez. Then the fourth inning gives up a one-out double to Wong. Let the sinker a little up out over the plate. Then he bounces back, strikes out Gonzalez on the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Nasty, effective, overpowering four-seam fastball up in the zone. So I love the way he attacks hitters, man. I really do. I love the way he can change speeds. He can hit 97, 98, can drop it down to 93. Really interesting guy, man. I really enjoy watching Robleski as a young pitcher. And then you go to the top of the fifth inning, and he's pitching to Smith. He gets him out, and that was it. That was it for Robleski. And he goes 4 1/3 innings, and Robleski, that was the best start of his young career. If you look at his line on the night, Robo, he goes 4 1/3 innings, allowed no runs on 3 hits, had 5 strikeouts, threw 83 pitches, 54 for strikes. And Dodgers fans were not happy with the move. Dave Roberts comes out there and takes the ball, and he goes to Yohan Ramirez. And you're hoping, yes, Yohan Ramirez, a guy that's had some ups for this team, had more downs and ups recently. Well, he gets an opportunity to just bridge that gap to the rest of the high leverage arms later in the game. But he comes in, he gives up a single to Rafaela, then Reeve Snyder, he reached on an infield single to third, so they're set up with runners on first and second with 1 out, and then Jarren Duran on a 2-2 count, he doubled to right to score 2 runs. That gives the Red Sox a 2-1 lead. He bounces back to strike out O'Neill. Then they intentionally walk Devers. Smart move. And then with runners on the corners, he gets Wong to ground to second. So, yeah, Yohan Ramirez, he let that lead slip. It evaporated right away. And, 3 straight base hits. 3 straight base hits. The 2 runners they scored, they gave the Red Sox that lead to start the game. And you look at his last couple innings, he is really, really starting to trend in the right direction. Dave Roberts needs to go out there and give him an Albert Pujols level hug to try to get him back on track, because you just can mess with the Yohan right now, unfortunately, and I just don't like seeing him in there in big spots right now, just because I feel like he has been a little overworked of late, and unfortunately, I think it's starting to catch up with him. You saw before this, he had last pitched on Sunday, and that's when he imploded against the Red Sox. And the day before, against the Detroit Tigers. And then the day before that, he imploded as well, and he gave up the home run to end the game. So, yeah, it's, we gave the bomb to Urshela. So, yeah, it's not looking good for Yohan Ramirez at the moment, but thankfully it was just 2 runs. It was still early enough in the game that you felt like the Dodgers still had a chance to get it back. And how about Joe Kelly? Missed 2.5 months, and Joe Kelly back on the mound for the Dodgers, strikes out Gonzalez swinging with a knuckle curve. Ended up issuing a double to Abreu. Then he issued the walk to Smith. And Rafael, he grounded into the double play. So big GIDP, pitcher's best friend. He gets him to ground to a double play, and he works his way around that double and around that walk. So really nice job for Joe Kelly, getting him back in the mix. A little annoyed there early on. Thought that was kind of funny. And then bottom of the 6th inning, Actually, let's do some comments here, and we'll continue to break this one down. Don't trust Lux. He's up and down. Nando390. I grew up in Highland Park, too. Many hippies now. We got I like Pop-Tarts. I love Pop-Tarts. I love the middle, too, man. Just give me that middle right there. Big Joe82. D-Mac, Modelo's on me tonight. We celebrating a Dodger Doug, my guy. Yeah, pop those Modelo's. Saturday night, summertime in L.A. Doesn't get better than that. Just enjoying a Dodger victory, man. Hey, you got to enjoy the road to the postseason, and a lot of that comes with these big wins, and it's always great, too. Kenley still has California love. It's a fire take. It's a comment of the show. Comment of the show contender right there from EG over on YouTube. Philip Subia, I won the Mookie Betts ball from the Dodgers All-Star Game sweepstakes. It came today. Philip, send me a picture on my X at DMAC_LA so I can retweet that. That's awesome. Will Stivers, I'm starting to feel more confident with Robleski on the mound than I am with Paxton. That's a fire take. It's a fire take, and honestly, I don't think you're way off with that one. I really don't, because James Paxton, he's really close. One more start, and he'll get an $1 million bonus. He'll get all of his escalators hit, all of his incentives, and on the year, he's just been kind of okay-ish. And anytime that you're saying, when you're talking about what a pitcher does for your team, and the biggest pro is that he's not taxing the bullpen, and at the very least he's going out there and eating innings, it definitely doesn't speak highly of you. But a 4.38 ERA for Paxton, a FIP at almost 5, career high in walks per 9 right now. I mean, a 4.7 walks per 9. I mean, he doesn't inspire too much confidence in Robleski. I think, honestly, he's a dog. I really think he is. D-Mac, let's sweep Boston. Let's freaking go. I love that. Let's go reverse Tom Brady. Let's freaking go. Oh, Honeywell greater than side. Johan, that's from Glenn. Yeah, kind of like what I saw from Honeywell in the last couple of appearances for sure. Banda was due to give up a huge hit. Kenny Chung. Yeah, let's get back into this one. Bottom of the 6th inning, Ohtani, he doubles to left. Smitty goes down swinging. Freeman, he walks. And then Kike Hernandez, the runners on first and second. 1-2 count. He singled to right. That Ohtani scored on the error, and that put the game tied. We're all even at 2 at that point. The game is tied at 2 apiece. And then Andy Pages, next batter, 1-1 count. He hits a sack to center to give the Dodgers the lead at 3-2. So I really like that at bat from Andy Pages right there. Not looking to do too much, making the right play. A real veteran at bat there by the rookie Andy Pages. So I really like that at bat. And the Dodgers, at that point, it was just about getting runs and getting on top, and they did just that. So they get 2 runs on 2 hits there in the 6th inning. Then the 7th inning, Anthony Banda, who's been really good for the Dodgers this season. Banda has been one of those reclamation kind of dumpster diver type moves that they were able to pull off, and he's been more than serviceable for this team. He's really been really solid heading into this one. A 2.10 ERA up to 2.70 now. But, yeah, he was due to give that home run like Kenny Chung said, and you look at that at bat right there. After the 1-out walk to Duran, O'Neill, first pitch, 4-seam fastball, little up, little out over the plate. O'Neill put a good swing on it. He hits a bomb to left, and that put the Red Sox back on top 4-3. So this team, they were taking punches, and they were punching back. I mean, these teams were exchanging blows tonight, and you like to see that back and forth, all the lead changes. So they get 2 runs on 1 hit that O'Neill bombed there in the 7th to take a 4-3 lead. And then you jump to 8th inning. Man, really nice job from Honeywell. Goes 1-2-3, strikes out Abreu on that 4-seam fastball up in the zone. Got Smith looking at a 4-seam fastball. So nice job, Honeywell. And then bottom of the 8th inning. It looked like this was going to be the Dodgers' best opportunity to try to win this game. After a Freddie Freeman 1-out single to center, Teoscar, he followed that up with a single of his own. And then Pages, he drew a 5-pitch walk to load the bases with 1 out. And then Miguel Rojas on a 2-0 count, he bizarrely checks his swing, a little half swing by Miguel Rojas, and he grounded into a double play. Catcher gets it, throws it to first, and that ends the inning. So a very frustrating ending to that inning. And what I don't like about it is you don't need a check swing. You don't need a half swing in that count. A 2-0 count with the bases loaded, either you take the pitch, you try to put the ball in play, you try to do damage, but a check swing is going to do nothing. I mean, let's say you get a strike call, you're still up in the count 2-1. So I think that was just Miguel Rojas kind of being in his head a little bit when you consider this situation. And he's a professional guy at the plate that can put together quality at-bats in those spots. So I think that was an aberration. I think Miguel Rojas is a much smarter player than to do that in that situation. So sometimes it happens. Sometimes, I mean, he'll be the first to tell you that you can't check swing in that situation. But you go to the top of the ninth inning, and Honeywell comes back out there. I mean, how about Honeywell? He gives up the single to Rafaela, and then he gets the double play, and he struck out Duran on a screwball. I jumped out of my seat when I saw that. And I want to give Honeywell some love, man. They found something in him. I'm telling you, Honeywell tonight, man, he was really good. Really, really good for this Dodgers team. If you look at his line for the night, Honeywell, he ends up going 2 innings with 3 strikeouts and allowed just 1 hit. So I really like what I saw from him. I definitely think that while they're treading water, waiting for guys to get back, he's someone that I want to see more out of, and I really like the way he went out there. And then bottom of the ninth inning, Kike Hernandez, Kenley Jansen. We saw it before. Let's see it again.
Hernandez rips one, left center field. This game is tied.
Sixth home run of the season for Kike Hernandez, ties things up at 4. The Dodgers were hoping to just end it right there. Vargas struck out swinging, but then Chris Taylor, 9th pitch of the at-bat, he doubles. And then Ohtani was intentionally walked with runners on first and second. Then Smith, he flied to right, and then Freddie Freeman with the go-ahead run there, the game-winning run on second. We're hoping, hey, maybe we could see back-to-back walk-offs, really back-to-back big-time hits, not necessarily walk-offs, but big spots right there where Freddie Freeman comes through late in the game. He had the grand slam in the bottom of the 8th yesterday, and today could have had the walk-off, but he flies to right. And then you jump to the top of the 10th inning. O'Neill homers off Evan Phillips. That put the Red Sox up 6-4. You thought, okay, maybe that's it. Not so fast. Dodgers aren't dead yet. After a Teoscar Hernandez strikeout, Andy Pages, he doubled to left to score Freddie Freeman to pull the Dodgers within 1 at 6-5. And then Miguel Rojas, he swings and misses at a 4-seam fastball up and away for the second out. And then Kike Hernandez at the plate again, and another incredible at-bat for Kike. He falls behind the count 0-2. And then later in that bat, he loads the count on the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Kike comes through again. Clutch Kike did it all for the Dodgers today.
Went for a payoff pitch. It is a fastball into center field and a base hit. The Rams throw to the plate is not in time. Hernandez is out.
And Kike was out at second trying to stretch it. But how about this? Nice base running there by Andy Pages. Really someone who's a fast player. I mean, an athletic player. Give Andy Pages a lot of credit there. But Kike not trying to do too much. And 2 strikes. 2 strikes there. The Dodgers down to their last strike. Last out, and Kike comes through. That's what I'm telling you. Kike-tober is a thing, guys. I know you want to hate on Kike sometimes, but he comes through in big spots. The Banana Man did it tonight. Love it. And in the 11th inning, top of the 11th, Abreu was hit by a pitch by Blake Trinan. Then he bounces back. He strikes out Smith. He got Rafaela to pop the first, and then he gets Yoshida to pop the third. So Trinan, he got it done. And then the bottom of the 11th inning, Kevin Biggio, he's in and sacrificed to first. Kike gets to third. Chris Taylor draws the 1-out walk. And then Shohei is intentionally walked. That brought up Will Smith with the bases loaded. and the clutch Prince, like he always does in these situations, he comes through.
Here's 2-0. Is into center field, and that's the ball game. What a game it was. A gem of a game. Goes to the Dodgers in 11 innings.
The clutch Prince of the Ravine gets it done, and the Dodgers get the dub 7-6. Incredible game. An amazing baseball game. National television on Fox. Joe Davis on the call, and you're hearing Randy Newman, and you know it's a good day. LA beats Boston. But okay, now I'm going to focus on all your takes here for the rest of the show. Love Mariachi Joe Kelly from Mr. Classic. Bilal K. I will be profoundly excited about a lineup in 2025 of Mookie, Shohei, Adames, Freeman, Will, Profar, Teoscar, Muncy, Pages with Paredes on the bench. You're doing the splits, LR, LR, LR. Yeah, for sure. I think that has to be one of the top priorities in the offseason is acquiring a shortstop, because I think that if Gavin Lux gets another opportunity and you stretch it and the same thing happens, then what do you do? What do you do and where do you go? Because there's not a lot of options. And I think Willie Adames is someone that, depending on how his season ends, I mean, you saw what Dansby Swanson got a couple years ago, 7 years, $177 million. Maybe you get something along those lines. Maybe it's a little less than that. And you're definitely a little hesitant to sign certain shortstops that are on the older side. But Adames turns 29 in September. I'd like to see him on a 5 or 6 year deal with the Dodgers. I think that that'd be a perfect fit, Willie Adames to the Dodgers. We got Nelson. Hey, D-Mac, what do you think about making Ohtani and Mookie in a platoon leadoff role when Mookie returns? I've mentioned that on my show, Dodgers Dugout Live, multiple times. I think if it's a lefty, you could go with Mookie Betts at leadoff. A righty, you can go with Shohei Ohtani as the leadoff spot. But the most important thing is that you're putting this team in a situation where you don't have the lefties going back-to-back in the lineup, because then that gives the opposing manager the opportunity to set up that matchup. And I think you got to split Shohei and Freddie. So I think occasionally if you want to move Freddie Freeman to cleanup, you can do that. And then you can plug Will Smith or Teoscar in the 3-hole. Or you can look elsewhere where you have Shohei Ohtani at the leadoff spot, and then you put Mookie in the 2-hole, and then Freddie in the 3 spot anytime you've got a right-handed pitcher on the mound, and then you take full advantage of that. So a lefty, I like Mookie at leadoff. A righty, I like Shohei Ohtani if they want to go that direction. But kind of the big concern, like I said, one of my big takeaways that I know no one's talking about probably is the fear of Shohei Ohtani getting intentionally walked in big spots in October. So do you really want to get Mookie back for that? Because then it truly becomes pick your poison with Mookie and Freddie and Smitty and Teoscar. So that's why you get as many quality hitters as you can at the top of your lineup. Then you can't dodge these guys. And at the very least, you're getting a base runner in Shohei Ohtani. But definitely want to see Shohei get those spots. And that's why it's important for the bottom of the lineup to produce. And then when he bats behind Mookie, well, then hopefully you see less of a chance for opposing teams to issue that intentional walk early in innings to try to salvage it. But here we go. We got, let's keep popping here. I'm repping from South Pasadena. What up, Jay Bullitt? Ruben Garcia, Dodgers manager, starting to get Darvin Ham syndrome. Tommy Alvarado, you can't spell clutch without Teo. Love that's a fire take right there. Alex Cora going to keep intentionally walking to lose. No thanks. Yeah, Alex Cora getting owned this series. I love that. Dougie Fresh does the bandit dance. Danny Duffy will be back to bolster this bullpen. Jason Diamond, that's a bruh. Danny Duffy, the Loch Ness Monster of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yo, D-Mac, hello. They won in spite of Doc. I mean, look, Robleski should have finished that inning, in my opinion. And there's too much of a reliance on Yohan Ramirez. But the truth of the matter is, lots of injuries at the moment. And it's unfortunate that this team always feels like it deals with that year in and year out. But still think that this team has fought hard. And I think you could point to some of the other moves tonight. I mean, Kevin Biggio going up there late and having the sacrifice and getting Kike to advance in that situation. I like that approach. So I think that when it comes to run prevention and generating runs, this team, look, this offense was sputtering early on. And you did get 2 extra base hits, though. 2 extra base hits from Gavin Lux down the order. But for the most part this season, they haven't done a ton. By the way, it was the first time since June 11th, 2021 that Gavin Lux has had multiple extra base hits in the same game. He had a double there in the 5th inning, and then he had the 2-run shot early in the 2nd inning. So good to see Gavin Lux have some success. Cole, none of our relievers seem to pitch many clean innings, Eric, and they don't strike out a ton of guys. I mean, this bullpen is 21st in strikeout rate. That's not going to play in the postseason. Get me Tanner Scott. How about this? Get me Mason Miller. D-Mac, show Johan the door from Big Joe. Let's keep it moving here. We got Rojas, had bad luck. Definitely some bad luck there. And when Miguel Rojas was on my show a couple of days ago, one thing Miggy Rowe told me was that when you're playing such a demanding position like the shortstop position, at some point the physical demands have the possibility and the potential to bleed into your offense. So I think for him, when Mookie comes back, if he plays some short and you don't see him there every single day, that could help Miguel Rojas' offense as well. Because since the July month has taken, since the calendar's turned to July, Rojas' offense has gone down after having an OPS over 800 in the month of June. D-Mac, you want to mention Outman's amazing play? Yeah, fire, dude. I got that one here because that was my defensive play of the game, was James Outman with Anthony Banda on the mound to start things off, and it proved it definitely could have gotten away from the Dodgers in that inning because Refensnyder 1-0 count, and James Outman, he makes the catch of the year.
2.10 ERA. Refensnyder lifts his fly ball to left center field. Outman on the move to the wall. He makes the grab. James Outman, a robbery with no regard for his body.
So I love the success that Outman's having since he's returned. Is just kind of playing the role he's been asked to play, trying to take advantage of the opportunities that he's given. But that was a fantastic catch. James Outman, we know what he can do at the plate. 23 home runs last season. If he can find a rhythm. Defensively, he was an above-average defender. And Andy Pages is as well. They're both young, but what a fantastic catch. I mean, Refensnyder thought he might have had a home run. You got a leadoff there. It could have been a big inning. I mean, gives the home run to O'Neill there that inning. But James Outman, man, what a fantastic play. I got to see it again.
2.10 ERA. Refensnyder lifts his fly ball to left center field. Outman on the move to the wall. He makes the grab. James Outman, a robbery with no regard.
Just giving up his body right there. We got Kenley. More thanks to Kenley Jansen. Guys, everyone's thinking Kenley. Kenley's the Dodger dog of the game, right? He's the player of the game. We got Gotani, Honeywell with the turtleneck. Every time they bring in Ramirez, I tell myself, here we go again. That's from Life in Space. A 199 super chat from Swelling Sausage. Roberts tried to lose, but they still won. Amazing. Halibut to Killer. D-Mac, it's nice to be on this side of Jansen's blown save mishap. Boston keeps Jansen. We don't need him. Kike definitely. That's interesting you mentioned that because if one thing, if you look at this series, is if you wanted a player from Boston, you want them to be sellers. Well, Kenley's an ideal trade candidate if you're them because he was due $16 million to start this season. That number, of course, has gone down significantly when you look at where we're at in the season. But it really comes down to, do they think that they're still contenders? And the Red Sox now are holding on to that third wild card spot. And you got the Royals, the Mariners, the Rays. Rays are climbing, by the way. Rays are 4.5 back from that third spot. So, and the Detroit Tigers only 5 games back. So are they going to be sellers? I think the Rangers are the one that you're looking at them really slide, and will they look to move pieces like a Nathan Eovaldi or a Kirby Yates? He's a reliever that could really help this team as well. I'd much rather have Kirby Yates than Kenley Jansen. I wouldn't think twice about that. He's been a better reliever this season. I would trust him more in a big spot, especially in the postseason. But go Tony from Ruben Flores. Let's keep it going down here, guys. Thanks for joining us here on the Dodgers Nation post game show. Paul Vaughn, D-Mac, is Muncy out for the year? No, Max Muncy isn't out for the year. It's been a slow recovery process for Max Muncy, and he did take soft toss on Thursday. So it was a good week, and he was doing some intense medicine ball work, and they were working those obliques. So he was shut down from swinging on July 6th, but he has resumed swinging the bat. Now, we don't have a timetable for his return, and he has been ruled out since, at the very least, mid-August at this point, but he hasn't played since May. And it's going to take a pretty lengthy rehab assignment before the Dodgers consider activating him from the IL. So we're kind of in wait-and-see mode, and kind of really wait-and-see mode of how his body responds. But no, they have not ruled him out for the season, to answer your question. But let's go, Paggio. Who would have thought Ramirez would blow a lead? Yeah, I think a lot of people in this chat. Alex, what's up, Alex? Always rock with us. Was it me or was Adam Wainwright glazing on the Dodgers? LO. He kind of was. You guys like Wainwright? I mean, I know people don't like Smoltz sometimes, but I was kind of missing Smoltzy today. D-Mac is playing through the speakers of my Corolla. I'm not driving. Hey, Alex, hey, man, that Corolla is going to go forever and ever, man. 250,000 miles. But thanks for rocking with us in Alex's Corolla. Honk the horn for me. BC, Rojas swung on the first pitch twice when he should have been more patient for the particular at-bat. Yeah, definitely was not great at-bat quality that we're used to seeing from Miguel Rojas. And we're not asking this guy to rake. We're not asking him to be Mookie Betts at the plate. If he hovers around average and plays elite defense, that's going to help this team in a massive, massive way. But a couple more comments here, and I'll let you guys enjoy your Saturday night walk-off win party that I hope you're going to have for your Los Angeles Dodgers. Paul, for the love of D-Mac, yes, Muncy is done, my guy. Torn oblique. I think with Max Muncy, it really kind of depends. What they're going to do with him. But it's just no timetable, man, and he's out. But you can't rule him out. And until they say he's out, you can't say he's officially out. But we'll see what they end up doing. I actually got a whole show on that tomorrow. We got D-Mac acts like the Dodgers have the prospects to get a trade for anyone. They don't. But they do have the ability to absorb money, and they do have quality prospects. Okay, they don't have the Orioles prospects, and rushing is right there towards the end of the top 50 at 48. DePaula at 63. But still, it just kind of depends on the fit and the situation. I've been told the White Sox are interested in a combination of some big league ready talent on this team that's already playing at the big league level and their prospects. So you have to consider that as well. When it comes to big league ready talent, it's tough to evaluate from another team's perspective. This is not all baseball trade values, right? So there's that as well. You have to consider, too, organizations. They want to keep relationships high with the Los Angeles Dodgers. But D-Mac, am I headed to the game tomorrow? I am. I will be there for sure. XX Richie. D-Mac, should we get Isak and Randy? Love it. You guys know I've been pushing for Randy at Rosarena for months now. Isak is a guy that doesn't hit the ball incredibly hard. His results defy his StatCast metrics as far as his barrel percentage and his batted ball data. He hits bombs. He has been a better hitting third baseman than Ryan McMahon or any of these guys really this season. He's been fantastic. He's a below average defender, but I would definitely love to see him as a Dodger. Would it happen? We'll see. But a couple more here, guys. We got hire Dave Roberts for unemployment. What is happening with Brusdar Graterol? So Brusdar Graterol, like we talked about on the show yesterday, definitely some positives. He's been down there throwing in the Arizona Complex League, and it was his second rehab appearance on Tuesday in rookie-level Arizona Complex League action. He went 1 inning, gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits. So yeah, things are trending in the right direction, and hopefully he doesn't have any setbacks. And if that's not the case, we'll see what's going to happen because he's been on the shelf the entire season. So that's going to do it, though, for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. We'll be back for you guys tomorrow. Trade deadline is on the final stages, guys. We are getting so close to the trade deadline on July 30th. And we got some fireworks on the way. Either way, it'll be fireworks. If they don't, it'll be fireworks as well because we're going to be hot that they didn't improve this roster. But JKid323, I'll trade Dave Roberts and Johan Ramirez for Randy A. that's going to be a no from them, dog, on that one. But thanks again, guys, as always, rocking with us here on the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel. Comment Go Tawny on the way out so you're eligible, and hit that like button. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue,